What happens if you turn an iceberg upside down? Well, as you know, an iceberg, 7/8 of the mass are underneath the iceberg. So if you turn it upside down, what you have is a very, very unsuccessful iceberg. And most marketing is conducted on the unsuccessful iceberg principle, because people do what they want to do. They love playing around with the creative, you know. Do you think we could make it a little bit bigger? You know. Don't you think that red could be a little bit brighter? Perhaps the logo should be larger. I actually did get an email yesterday from a client who was talking about the layout of an insert I've done for him. Yeah. He said, "Didn't you say somewhere that reversed out was not a good idea? Didn't you," he's quoting me, he said, "Didn't you say cartoons are not a good idea? Didn't you say that blah, you don't, all the trivia?" And I said, "Look, all of these things are a bad idea if you do them all the time, except the thing you said about cartoons, which is rubbish, because cartoons are very good for attracting attention." But this guy was not thinking about what he should be thinking about, which is, who should we be sending this to? Should we be making a different offer? Is there any way we can segment? He was just thinking about the pictures and the words. Yeah? So this is what matters most. Product and positioning. So the first thing that I did with the bull worker was I tried the bloody product to see if it worked. Yeah? And then after that, research and testing. Research and testing is important because it tells you whether you're doing the right thing. Research will not tell you whether you're doing the right thing. It will give you an indication as to what your customers think, what they believe, what they don't believe, what they don't think, what they worry about, what they don't worry about, all sorts of things about. They will tell you what they think they're going to do. They have no bloody idea. None of us has any idea what we're going to do until we're actually in a situation where we have to do it. We have very, very silly illusions about what we're going to do. We don't know. I have a nice quote from Leo Burnett, who was my first boss in London, who said, if people have no idea what they're going to do until they are actually asked to buy it. So if people had relied on research, there would never have been a lever or an airplane or just about anything, or a TV. And the famous example, of course, is a Sony Walkman, which research said would never work. And Akio Morita, at that time the head of Sony, said, "Right, we're going to do it anyhow." But testing, the thing that makes this business so fascinating and which people neglect to an astounding degree, is the thing that's going to tell you what people are going to buy, whether they're going to buy it, what they're prepared to pay for it, when they're prepared to pay for it, and so on. The next most important thing, look, when the media man stands up in agency presentations, everyone falls asleep. He shows you a load of chart, you know. But the truth is that even a boring message sent to the right person will outperform a brilliant message sent to the wrong person. So targeting is extraordinary, and targeting covers quite a range of things. It doesn't just cover who do I send it to, it covers when I send it, yeah? Where I send it, and so on and so on. That's incredibly important. Incentives are the next most important thing, generally speaking, because what I give you is going to be infinitely more persuasive than anything I can say. Every salesman wants you to try the product because he knows nothing will be more convincing. Yeah. If you look at what's going on in the internet today, and I'm very happy to say I spent yesterday with Harry Jacobson, who's coming to talk here, you will see how very, very relevant all this is to what's going on today on AdWords and on the internet generally. Because if you look at what's going on the internet, nearly everybody is operating the same way. They give you something free, and then they say, by the way, would you like to try this or try that or try that? I do it, you know, I do it. This is the basis of advertising. This is how advertising really got going over 100 years ago, with incentives. And the least important thing on which I've spent my entire career is creative. Yeah? But the thing is that creative is very difficult. So it may be the least important, but it's very, very difficult. And it doesn't cost you any more to do it right than to do it wrong. Very, very rarely. Yeah. Very rarely costs you any more to do it right than to do it wrong.